If I can do it, you can do it.
I can do it.
No, that's what you can say.
Oh. Hi everyone, live here with Vimi and myself, Krista, and we are a little bit early this time, but we just want to come in earlier because I know there are some of you who are already excited and have been texting me and asking me what time it starts. So we decided to come in a little bit early to kind of get to know the rest of you first, especially those people who first time getting into this with me. This is also my first time with Vimi, and so I hope that this will be something will be useful and something that we can share some good stuff with all of you. So if you are here right now, perhaps you can actually give us some comments or some stuff so that we know you're here and that we know you're actually watching. So let's see who else is here. So let me just type a message.
Hey, Krista, I sent you something to share. Can you see that? Just wanted to check. Hi, folks. Again, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see. Can you see us? Yes.
Is that the artwork?
Yes, the artwork. Hi, Gideon. Gideon, you know Vimi, right?
Hi. I can't see the messages. I think it's coming up to you, Krista.
Okay, so we have Gideon. I think Gideon knows you. Gideon Ng. He says, "Hello, Krista and Vimi. Hong Chi or Gideon here."
Oh, Hong Chi, I know him very well.
Thanks for being one of the earliest to jump in, Gideon.
Okay, he was in my Mentor Connect program. He told me he knew you back the book program that you folks have, right?
Yes, he's also part of the book adoption center that we are running here in Taman Srinibo. So yeah. So let me just put up the question that we have for the people who are early, right? So let's put this. So for those of you who are here early, we just wanted to ask you this question, which has been on most of our minds, like how have you been doing during this extended MCO, or what kinds of things you've been doing during this extended MCO? And all you got to do is just let us know through the comment section, just type it in. And I think if Vimi can't see it, I will just read it out to her and let her know whether it's something that we can help you address or something that you want to share with us, okay? There's a comment. Hi, Jaruja. Okay, Jaruja is a friend of mine from Sri Lanka. So she's actually logging in from Sri Lanka. So hi, Jaruja. Nice to see you and nice of you to join us. I think in this session, I think a lot of people are excited because I think we've done a lot of promotion, Vimi.
Yeah, I can see the comment now. You see my daughter tells me, hey, Vimi, you're not in the screen. Click the live comment.
Okay. Okay, so now you can see it.
Yes, I can see it. I can see it.
Okay. So, Gideon and Jaruza, how are you coping with this lockdown? So for Gideon, he understands what MCO is because he's Malaysian. But for Jaruza, who's in Sri Lanka, I think they call it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's in Sri Lanka. So Jaruza, how's everything in Sri Lanka? And how are you doing? And Jaruza actually has a hotel business. So I'm wondering how things are going on with her. So anyone else want to leave a comment? How are you coping with this extended MCO? Okay, so maybe Vimi, you tell us what's been happening with you and your life.
I have to be honest. I've been a bit happy with the MCO actually.
Okay.
So I can actually take a break and stay at home, and this is a valid excuse that I don't need to go out of the house.
Yeah.
So I'm coping pretty well, I must say, because there's a lot of activities or projects that I'm supposed to do at home, and I never got it done because it was never in my priority list. And now with the MCO, it automatically became a priority list. So I'm able to do a lot of things in that aspect. And I still have a lot more pending because I'm unable to get the things that I need to go ahead and do, right? I see more people joining in, Shalini.
Hi,
Oh,
Shalini. Oh, okay.
they were telling that they love to see my family a part of the convo. Yeah, that's my younger one, Dharani, and then my older one, Rashmini, just
And
waiting here.
and also that's my husband behind there, Nick.
Yeah, my husband is the other side.
He's keeping all the tech in tune for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. We are keeping, and again, just as you said, right? It is so strange. This is my first time going live in Facebook, and I do have some butterflies in my tummy doing this. It feels different, right? It's not so common like how we have done it before.
Yeah. Hi, Jenna. Okay, Jenna is my best friend from school. So I must say,
Wow.
yeah, I've known her for decades, and she's always supportive of my stuff. So she's been my number one fan. Hi, Jenna.
I see. That's good.
Hi, Regina. Okay, I think you know Regina too, right?
Yes. Hi, Regina. Yes, I know. There's a lot of common friends.
Yeah.
Hi,
Suddenly we
Lokman.
have so many mutual friends.
Yes.
Hi, Daniel. Daniel, remember Daniel?
Yes, I remember Daniel too. Hi.
Hi, Lokman. I'm not too sure. I don't know. Sometimes Facebook names are a bit, unless they use their real name. Sometimes I kind of get confused. So Jerusa says, so now I spend my time at my father's bakery and planning to do home gardening and clean the air. That's really good. So for myself, I think during this MCO is a good time for me to also get back into my hobbies. So one of those hobbies that I got back into was crochet. So I don't know. A lot of people don't associate me with crochet because I think it's something that is probably like very 1980s kind of craft. So
yeah, yeah, that is nice, right? To get back into your talent. I see, like our friend Huang Chi has gone marketing virtual workshop, right? I also saw Amy wrote there that she's been busy with work and household chores.
So, hi Darshini, thank you for joining us. We are a little early, of course, so we're gonna start in 5 minutes time, but we're gonna let people join in and leave their comments and tell us how they're coping with this extended MCO before we jump into today's programming. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see my older sister Rajesh on the call. Hello.
So anyway, just let people know. So this is also my first time being FB Live together with a friend, together with a guest. In the past, I used to do like quick ones when we were doing Marketing Mojo. So that was that for the last 7 years we did Marketing Mojo. So we were doing quick Facebook Lives, but that was just very casual and just totally unplanned. And then we just switch on and we just say, okay, this was happening in Marketing Mojo, just to give people a sense of what's happening live. But this one is a little bit different because this one has its own complexity, would you say?
True. A bit, yeah, because we are actually trying to make sure that we are aligned, right? When we see you face to face, it's much easier. And then, the screen shows all the comments coming through on the right-hand side. And then you're talking on my left. And I feel and they keep telling me to look at the camera straight, right? Then only I can see I'm looking at the audience. So it's like, okay, I want to turn here, I want to turn there. But at the same time, I want to engage with the audience.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a bit tricky to get used to this stuff.
So that to me actually is part of also a learning curve for the both of us, right? So to those who just joined in, welcome to our 1 hour program today. We also want to let you know that we ourselves had to learn new things in order to get onto this Facebook Live to do this together. So that's also part of it. I mean, sometimes this is the good thing, right? If you're doing it with a friend, you feel a lot more comfortable and you feel a lot better. Okay, even with this technical issue.
I was thinking about it, right? If I screw up, it's okay. Krista is there; she can back me up.
Or if we screw up in front of all our friends, they'll forgive us, right? They're not gonna
Yeah.
say, oh, you were so terrible, they still love us. So that's the reason why I think Facebook Live is cool, because we're among friends, we're among people who actually know us, and they will forgive us if some weird technical thing happened halfway. Okay, I see who else.
That's good. That's good. I see more of my family members joining in actually. Pravina, my husband just logged in as well. And then I saw your friend actually sharing about this Minds Connect with Waves.
Oh,
Certain is accurate. Does she do astrology? Krista, your friend? Janatani?
I must ask Janatani. I think she does. I think she used to do it in the past, but I'm not too sure whether she still does it now. And Jana says, this is the way to educate and build communities. Minds really connect over waves. Okay, Satan in
Yes.
and connections. I don't know about the Aquarius part, but I do know that I think because of this MCO, we are all pushed to really embrace digital. I think that's a good thing for all of us. So it doesn't really matter whether you know or don't know tech or digital. And that's where this is a chance to learn, right? Like both of us are learning on the fly.
Yep, we are learning, and every day is a learning opportunity, right? And that's the fun part of it. And the most important part is we have to be open to learn, and it should be okay if we fail. It doesn't matter, right? We need to know that it's okay, and nothing's going to happen. We're not going to die if we screw up something.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? What's the worst that could happen? The worst is that me and Vimi, both of us would be on FB Live. We're talking to each other. We're having the same conversations that we have. The best is that we get all the friends who are now joining us to watch us talk about something that I think is important, serious, but at the same time, we try to impart some of the things that we know, and we hope that others who's watching now can also share their experience. Yeah, that's the whole idea.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of cute comments coming. Audie is there. Hi. I saw from Daniel. He said we want to know.
Even
we
if
won't know mistakes. And I can see Regina is telling that we need to wear pants. I am wearing pants. I can show you. I thought of not doing that, but
Regina, I'm wearing shorts. So if you want to see my legs, yes, I can get up and show you my legs.
no, I'm fully attired because it felt very awkward not being in the proper attire. And I think that gives it stuff. So I'm properly attired, except for the fact that my kids are in shorts and t-shirts.
They're okay. They're kids, right? Okay, what time is it? We want to start. Okay, now it's 3:01. Shall we get into it? Okay. So later we'll actually show this question again. How are you coping with this extended MCO? And I hope that the rest of you come take part. Hi, Layong.
Hi, Layong.
Okay, let me just hide this one and put on this one. Okay. So today we will actually be talking about this topic called Reinventing Yourself. Strategies about being creative about work, business, living life now and after MCO. So, big question, right? Most of them, or most of you will be asking, like, why are we doing this? And why are we doing it this time? So, if you looked at my LinkedIn, I think some of you would have seen that I actually shared that this just came out an idea. We were having this phone conversation last week. Remember, Vimi?
Yes, exactly. I think, was it the same day?
I think probably the same day. I think last week, exactly a week ago, I was on a call with Vimi and we were talking about other things. And suddenly I decided that, hey, the stuff that we're talking about, we can actually share with other people. And I think that I've always respected Vimi and I've respected her ideas, her thoughts. So I thought, hey, someone that I can really talk to, because that's the other part of it, is if you talk to someone you don't know, it feels pretty awkward sometimes. You need to build a lot of rapport and you need to get into that groove of talking to that person before we even start the actual questions, right? So I thought, hey, great idea. Let me just pitch Vimi. And because Vimi is crazy like me,
I'm sure a lot of people are laughing over
she,
that. I
she,
think,
she gets the stuff that I want to do, and she said, "Yeah, let's." If I pitch someone else, I'll probably say, let me think about it. Let me think about whether I want to do this or not." So for you, it's like, "Yeah, let's do it." So okay, after you say yes, so I was thinking, okay, now how do we do it, right? Because technically there is some challenges to doing it, and I didn't like a certain format that was directly using Facebook itself. So I had to find some ways to get around it. So anyway, that's done. So why we're doing this is because we feel that sometimes it's easier to go through certain experiences if you know that other people are also going through the same experience, that other people are also feeling the same way that you're feeling. So that is why we decided, okay, since Vimi and I were friends, we love sharing, we love showing people certain things, how to undergo certain challenges or certain things. Even we ourselves have challenges. So later, Vimi will be talking a little bit about that. And I'm also excited about her exercise that she's going to give to us to do. So we're doing this. So it doesn't matter whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're employed, or whether you're retired, or whether you're a homemaker, it doesn't matter. All it matters is we're here to share what we know with you, and hopefully you will also share with us what you know, so we can have this like a community where we build each other up in these really difficult times, because all of us are in this together, and that is something that we all need to bear in mind. It's not just this particular country, it's just particular place, but it's all of us in this together. So I hope you will join in, participate as much as you can. And yes, if you have comments, questions, leave them in the comment box so that we can read them out. We can share your advice or your strategies with the rest of the people who are watching today. Okay.
and you forgot something. You better stay until the end because we have consolidated some information. We will share them with you as resource because Krista and I was thinking, right? Every time we do something for, there must be a carrot that people need to latch on, right? So it's very important. So we thought we will give you some additional resources if you stay on with us and have the chat, right? So that's very important. Another thing I wanted to also share with you, listening, sharing your comment is good, but it's very important that you have some gadget, your pencil or your pen and a paper, because as we start doing some stuff, it is important that you can think through and write it down or list it out, so it's much more effective. So that's what I was thinking. Actually, I wanted to say, please have a pen and paper. But I'm thinking right now, everybody is so gadgety. They just want to use their phone, perhaps, or their laptop or whatever, not right. Any mode for you to keep that in thought. That's the most important thing. I see more folks logging in. Good to see all of them. I see good old friend Uncle Daniel and Dr. Prema and Mr. Shankar and Salina. Hello. So hello to you all. We will get going. So it's very important. Follow
And
with us and
Regina,
share whatever you can do.
carrot. We will show you the carrot. You have to wait with us till the end of
Oh,
this event. We will give you the carrot, right?
yes.
So carrot is,
Yeah.
the carrot is good. Okay.
Yes.
Because we worked hard on it. The carrot is really good. So hi, Kusalma. It's me. She's asking who's PK. That is my
Yeah, I
Chinese.
was wondering.
Yeah.
Oh, your Chinese.
My Chinese name, Hui King.
Okay, I never knew. I only knew as Christina Goon.
Okay. Okay, let's get started. First of all, let me introduce, importantly, Vimi. If you want the official version, I think you can go to her LinkedIn, right? You can see all the stuff she has done. But if you want the unofficial version, I will tell you that she's a really good human being. I think that is the main thing I wanted to say about you. Okay, that's it. And you have a very keen sense of, how should I say, keen sense of problem solving. You're very good at problem solving. Yeah. And just for those who don't know Vimi, she is actually an engineer. She has a very logical mind. She's probably the yang to my yin because I'm like so not logical. Okay, people who know me, I'm totally so not logical. Ask my husband, he knows I'm not logical. So Vimi is the engineer, the one with the logical mind, the one who has, at the same time, someone who has heart. And I say this because I've known her for the last couple of years. So how did I know Vimi? Okay, Vimi, do you remember that? I think I would
Yes,
tell the story,
yes.
but
Of course,
that's
I remember that.
okay. How did I meet Vimi? It was 2014, and I was invited to be a moderator at Penang Skills Development Center. And of all people that I was moderating in a panel, there was Datin Paduka Marina Mahathir. And it was nerve-wracking because that was I've moderated panels before, and I've moderated, all my women business members and all that. But this was different because this was someone who's high profile. But in that particular program, I actually met Vimi. And at that time, she was still with Intel. I still remember that. I still remember asking her, "Oh, what company are you from?" She said, "I'm with Intel." And that's when I got to know her. And I found her to be pretty refreshing, and she was very down to earth, and she was so eager to listen and to learn and all that, that I told myself, hey, after this program is over, I'm really going to call her up and let's go for, maybe a catch up or a tea or lunch together. So after that, our friendship developed. And more than that, when she became the MD of IHS Market, we started to become more regular in our lunches. We tried to be like once a month, right, Vimi? We tried to
Yes.
keep it month despite our busy schedule, so that we could just talk about anything and everything that was on our mind, whether it was problems with work, problems with business, issues with things in life generally, family, friends, and all this stuff. So we kind of like let it out. It was a very therapeutic lunch session for the both of us. We also took it as a time to explore the cafes in Penang. So that was the reason why we kind of got along very well together, is because of this. And so after she left IHS Market, she decided to start her own consulting business. And I was like, yay, Vimi, finally you're in business for yourself. Which I always thought that you had the capacity for that. And with what you know, your experience from engineering to HR to managing tons and tons of people, I think you have that ability to run a damn good business. Okay. So that's how I want to introduce you as someone that I call a good friend of mine, and how I would like to have more of these kind of conversations with you, whether it's FB Live or not FB Live. Okay. So here we go.
Thank you. Thank you. I see more friends joining in. Hello to Asha, Kiranjit, Yogesh, Darshini. I wanted to share this with you. Do you remember this picture? This is the picture taken when I met Krista for the first time. Do you remember?
I still have that.
Yeah. So I was actually wanted to tell. So obviously, you all have seen Krista's biography as well in terms of entrepreneur, author, copywriter, co-founder, a women organization co-founder as well, right? The B-Sense, and many more. I think, as Krista mentioned, I echo a very similar thought with her. We both have crazy minds. We both think differently, and we really want to do something that will impact people's life. And I wanted to share with you that all my conversations over so many years that I had with Krista, I really feel that I know her for a lifetime. That's how I feel. And I'm sure a lot of y'all know her, y'all know a lot of things, but there's one very unique perspective of Krista that I want to share with you here on FB. I think Krista is probably the only one that I know right now. I have to be very truthful. I do have a lot of friends who literally sends a card for birthdays, a personal card, a real card for Diwali greetings. And I have to call her up. Where on earth did you find this card? How can you buy a card nowadays, right, for greetings? And she will send it over, and she'll write, and she will pen the words. And I really feel this effort that she puts in, it makes a huge difference to people, right? I'm sure all of you love to read something nice about you, hear something nice about you. And the best part of it, when it's written somewhere, you can keep it. I've kept all the cards. It's always exciting. When the time comes when I feel very frustrated, these are the things that I will pull back and motivate back myself and see, wow, people say good things about me, right? I'm cool, right? We want to go. And these are a couple of things that I think very highly of Krista, that she goes the extra mile to make a person feel good about themselves. If you remember this quote, right, by Theodore Roosevelt, right? Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. I think that's something that's very important that I want to share. Okay, we shall start stopping on this and let's go to our business and talk about our business discussion.
Okay, so as you can see, thank you so much, Vimi. I think that has been mentioned a number of times. Some of my friends say, "Oh, you're the only one who sends cards," and I say, "Yeah." And I think that I'm pretty old school in that. Despite the fact that I'm in tech, I believe there are certain things you really have to do it by hand. So let's get back to today's topic. We're talking about reinventing yourself, strategies about being creative, about work, business, living life now and after MCO. So for those of my friends from the Asia Pacific who's joining me right now, you don't know what MCO is. MCO means Movement Control Order, which means partial lockdown, restricted movements. We can't get out of our houses, as we like. There's so many things that we can't do, but I'm sure you're probably experiencing that in your part of the world too. Some of my friends in the Asia Pacific, in the islands of Samoa and Fiji, they are even growing their own vegetables right now because all this. They're just worried that some imports are not coming in. So coming back to reinventing yourself. So why we talk about reinventing ourselves? Because this is a really strange times that we live in. Unusual times where we have a lot of uncertainty. And because of the uncertainty, we feel that sometimes you can't do the same things that you've been doing all the while. You can't be doing the same old stuff, your daily routine, and hope that things will get better, because that's really not how it will work out for you. It will not work out for the people around you, your customers, your employees, and the people who are looking up to you as a leader. So when we look at reinventing ourselves, this is actually reinventing ourselves. This Facebook Live that I'm doing with Vimi right now is reinventing ourselves. I mean, normal days, Vimi, hey, would you go on a FB Live? Maybe be like, nah, maybe not. Or maybe yes, but you don't know what you talk about, right? So this is also a way to push ourselves, the way to really challenge ourselves. Can we do this? And what would we say? What would we want to share with the people who trust us enough to share this information with them? So what we're sharing today is really about maybe some ways of resetting, rethinking, redoing some of the things that you feel that you've been doing all this while but doesn't seem to work. Even as today, I was talking to a client of mine in KL. I don't know if she's here, but I was talking to her and I was already telling her, I said, you can't do the same things that you've been doing all the while. Certain things have to change. Maybe you need to shrink down, pare down, go the minimalist route, because she has pretty huge overheads. She has a manufacturing plant. So that's even heavier on her. So it's a really serious issue. So that's why part of this is also a reinventing ourselves, myself and Vimi. Maybe we'll do this more. You never know, right, Vimi? Maybe we'll
Yes,
start a series on
see how the friends are taking it and whether they want more, right? Because it's all about sharing, and maybe we'll have more people coming in and do it tag on, right? We can have different audience, different people sharing the thought. I think the most important thing about this is it's a platform for us to share, because I believe like everybody in their own mind, they are thinking what is going on, what's happening with them. And it's very difficult for that single mind to really embrace that stuff and see how to really address it. When you come and share it across the board, I can tell you there are a lot more opportunities that you can tap on. Obviously, one brain has lesser power than many brains put together, right? More brains, more power, more support, and more energy that you can draw from such platforms. And that's the reason why I decided that's a good thing, right? I mean, we have been doing a lot. I mean, we were giving, I'm sure a lot of people are donating, sharing time, doing a lot of stuff. But right now we are actually sharing our ideas, what we can do in terms of reinventing ourselves. And very, very important thing as we go through these sessions, right? I have to tell you, those people who know me know that I am like a storyteller. I actually follow one of my guru brother, right, Bharat Alwani. And prior to that, my mom is a good storyteller. So she tells me a lot of stories from childhood. So it has been baked in me. So if you take a look at it, right, stories are actually wrapped with so much of facts, but they are delivered with emotions. We will share with you a lot of stories today. The reason we do it as a storytelling, so you can latch on to ideas, and it's always at a part of your brain that you can access it much easier. People tend to like stories much more better. I keep telling this to everyone, right? You can ask anybody now, even they're 70 years or 80 years old, they can remember their Cinderella story. But you can ask anybody right now who are studying whether they remember their biology equation or physics equation, they cannot, right? So the stories has a separate way on how it actually works in your brain. So one of the tactics is for us to use storytelling method to share with you the idea. So as we go through this process, it's important that you are coming here to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So first thing, you must unlearn all what you learned. Then you learn something new, and then you can relearn again.
And to start it off, because Vimi is an engineer, she is going to give you her interesting engineering take on how we're going to do this today. So take it away, Vimi.
I wanted to share this first slide with you. Can you see my first slide?
No. You shared? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. I can see.
I think before I go even into my engineering mind or whatever, I'm sure we have Dr. Prema also on the live. Also, Doctor, I'm not going to go into that domain at all. What I wanted to tell y'all is the very important thing that we need to do is we need to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room right now is actually fear. If you take a look at a holistic health approach, right, there's physical health, there's mental health, there's emotional health, there's social health, and spiritual health. And I was just in an FB live 2 days ago with a friend of mine, actually classmate of mine from those days, Shadapo Intan. She's a coach and certified NLP. And he was sharing in the live FB from the Ministry of Marketing. And they were actually talking about mental and emotional health. And if you think about this part of it, right, as I was talking about, it's very, very important. Before we can go and do anything at all, our emotional health, which is the most critical part, needs to be understood and accepted. So, like Daniel Goleman always says, right, if your emotional intelligence is strong, you can survive through any crisis. If you look at the statistics that's given by the 6 seconds outcome, they say in Asia, a person with high EQ is 10.2 times more likely to get a better outcome, to go through any crisis. So it's very, very important that we know what is our emotional intelligence. I'm not an expert on that. You can read, we will give you the resources. I'm not here to share about the detail, but I wanted you all to know that you need to know what is your fear. What is MCO doing to your? That's a very important thing that you need to actually come in and have the thought, right? So I wanted to share another thing actually when we do this exercise. Let me go and pull this up. Okay, Rashwini is here. All right. Let me go back and share my screen. Share is the share. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Adding to the stream.
Yes. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, this is my older one, Rashwini. Can you come here? So she wrote this up. So we wanted her to know what is it, the pros of COVID-19 and what's the negative of COVID-19. So she's 11th class, and you see these are the things that she's thinking from her thought process, right? About online classes, how to ration and appreciate the food, spend more time with the family, to watch more movies, obviously, and all the yada yada. And of course, interesting part of break brownies, right, Darren? And if you look at the negative part, these are all the negatives that we are seeing and putting through, which is very true. It's human that's happening. When we see this kind of information, we can relate directly what is going on in people's minds. So you saw an 11 plus year old girl doing that kind of exercise. I will pick on my younger one who just did the same thing, and this is what she had to share.
You guys have to see this. It's very interesting.
All right. I will go back here. Let me share. All right. Share screen. Share screen.
Hang on.
Share. And okay, can you see this? So this is Dharani. You can see her.
Hi, Dharani.
Hi. So when she talked about the good things about COVID, she decided she will make a sanitizer bottle because she feels the sanitizer bottle is going to cleanse everything, right? So all the droplets are all the good things that come about in the droplets. More time to sleep, more times to relax, right? Not wasting money. I'm surprised she put that comment. I don't know what she's spending on. more family time. So this is what she has. Oh, okay. Few, she said. The bad things. So she draw the COVID virus. I believe this is the virus. This is what she said, that you can't go out, bored at home, stuck at home. So can't exercise a lot, right? So this is what she's been thinking about when you ask her to write down between COVID-19 and so on. Hey, you see something?
Hi, everybody.
Okay. All right. Okay, great. Well, thank you. The reason why I wanted to share this with you all is for you to understand that in everybody's mind, we have this thought process that is going into our head. Until we write it down, it's very difficult for us to understand what is it. Now, I spoke about fear, right? We already know that is a very important thing for you to address before we take any step. Right now, the first thing for you to do is, can anybody of you take a piece of paper, whatever you have, write down what is your fear right now. Is it fear of losing your job? Is it fear of not being able to meet your job? Is it fear of not having sufficient cash? What is it that you are afraid of? If you are able to write that down in a piece of paper, then this is the first step, right? We are looking at our emotions. We know what is it that we are afraid of. Then systematically, we can take a look at what is our current status. And this is one of the things I was telling Krista. I'm very sure over the 2-3 weeks that we will be here, me and my husband, we have been consulting for a bit and talking to a lot of people. They come and tell us this thing. Oh, I'm so afraid. We're not going to have money. We're not going to do it. And we're not so sure how we're going to survive, right? But when I take a look at it, if people, this is one of the things we have asked them to do. Have any one of you actually checked on what is your financial status right now? How much have you saved? We did a verification check ourselves through this MCO. We actually saved about 30 to 40% because we kind of reduced all our travel. Petrol consumption was low. We did not go out and do a lot of things, buying a lot of stuff. Right? So we already have, even if you don't start with anything, without doing anything, you already have a saving that you have right now. So if you have the fear, you can actually literally think it down, break it down into small things, and see whether the fear is legitimate. And then you can identify what is the problem. If the fear is still legitimate, you can go ahead and ask what is the problem statement that you are trying to go ahead and address. And then that's when all the rest of the things comes in, right? How you actually unlearn. First, very important thing you need to do. Is it echoing?
Yeah, I think some of them mentioned that it is actually echoing. So yeah, not too sure. But some say the words are chopping. I guess it means the words are like can hear and it cannot hear.
Yeah, my online tech support has come upstairs, so that's why.
So as you can see, as we are doing this live, well, some things can be not happening. Some things can be happening.
Yeah.
It could also
Is
internet.
it better now? Is it better now?
Okay, we have to ask the people who are watching. QQ, is it better now? Lillian, can you tell me if it's better now? And Regina says yes, got echo. Is it from whose side? Is it from my side or is it from Vimi's side? Oh, they say my side is very clear.
I want to wear a headset with a surround system. Can you hear me better?
I can hear you. Okay, so for all of you who are watching, can you please tell Vimi if she has an echo? Maybe you say something, Vimi, we'll see whether there's an echo.
Okay, I'm actually looking again online stuff. Can you hear me? No echo. Okay.
Okay, better now? Okay, so hello to
Yeah,
those
that's good.
who join us. Hi, Malar. Hi, Q Hong. Who else I
Hi.
saw? Hi, Irene.
Yeah, hi, Lilian.
Lillian. I saw Lillian's name, and I think this is your friend, Kiranjit. Vicky Selvaraj. Who else is here?
Marlena. Irene, right? Pauline.
Yes, Pauline. Hi, Pauline. Hi, Matty. They're all my women business members.
Hi.
You're here to support me. How wonderful it is, right? To have friends who are so supportive.
Exactly. Yeah. So coming back to just now, I hope you all have checked your inventory for your financial stuff. Now, the thing that we need to go ahead and take a look, right? I told you that I will start sharing with you some stories on how we want to go ahead and address. There is two particular stories that I wanted to actually share with you today. One story is actually from India. It is a true life story that I actually saw from one of the sharings that was done. So there's this guy who is a consultant himself, and he is a professional consultant. He was giving a talk on how to reinvent yourself, how to actually take opportunities from the problems that you see and create them into some good things that can come in life. So he was actually talking to a much higher level of crowd. And later, after he finished the discussion, there's this guy from the slums came up to him and told him, "Hey, sir, I heard what you said. You said that we need to have passion, we need to have the strength. I have all that, but I really don't know what I can do differently and how I can actually reinvent myself." And he was actually looking at this guy and he said, "Is it possible for you to help me to do that?" So this guy consultant told him, he said, "Sure." And in his back of his mind, he's thinking, right? I mean, he has been giving a lot of consulting for corporate and those kind of services. And here he comes and he's totally in a different segment. So he asked this guy, okay, what are you doing now? So this guy says that, hey, I don't have a fixed job. I don't have much education. I love to run. I really love to run. I really love sports. I love animals. So I do odd jobs in the veterinary so that I can help with the health animals and make some money. I have a family, my parents and my other siblings, and they still need a lot of money to go ahead and do, right? Okay, I see the note. Let me do something.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
I love how our friends are being such helpful tech people, trying to help us troubleshoot whether it's the phone. Is that thank you so much. I think Emmy, Daniel, thank you. Malar.
All right.
So yeah, hopefully it's the phone.
All right. I think this should fix it.
Okay, so you got a feedback to Vimi through the comment box. Let us know if you can still hear her echoing.
Yes, if you hear me echoing, please tell me.
Thank you, Jenna, for being invested in the session. Thank you so much. So much fun doing this with friends, among friends.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Thank you for saying my voice is crystal clear, because I had some echoey problems just now. I do not know why. What happened? So now it's her turn to be in the echo.
Is it better right now? Is it better?
Still got background noise.
I've removed, switched off my phone. Everything seems to be. Okay. So I will, let me get going. And if it becomes worse, probably I will stop and ask Krista to speak first and then try to fix it up. Okay, so I was telling you about this story about this guy, and he says that he knows how to run, he loves animals, and he wants to know how to make money. So the consultant told him, why don't you give me a day and come back and see me, because I need to think through what we can do about it. So the next day, the guy came back and saw the consultant. And the consultant says, I really put some thought. Since you like to run, and then you like animals, are you okay to walk the dog for people? And this guy looks at him and he's like, can I make money walking a dog? And the consultant says, yes, you can. I'm sure you can do it, because if I think just in my condo, I have a lot of families who are there, and every time in the morning or evening, people are fighting on who should take the dog to walk, right? And if you can provide the service for them at a reasonable price, he said 1,500 rupees a month, which is about 85 ringgit. And since they are staying in a very lavish condo, it doesn't matter to them. A problem is solved for them, right? They don't need to argue, and they know their dog will be taken. So this consultant said, I will vouch for you. I will talk to the committee of the condominium, and I will say that I know you, and you have to make sure you do a good job. So he got him connected. And can you imagine, after talking, he got actually 12 tenants to get him the dog to be walked every day. And that's like 1,500 rupees per month times by 12 people. And this guy was so happy. He never got that much of money, right? That was like our current base salary, about 1,000 over ringgit. So this was actually coming back again. And what he did was, after a few months, he saw this guy was doing, so he let go. So he was okay, he was going. So the consultant, after a few months, he has moved to another place. So he thought about that. He saw this guy still walking the dogs. He's very happy. He will wave to him once in a while. After some time back, this consultant moved further. And when he came down, he met this guy on a motorbike. And he comes and asks this guy, I need your help again, sir. And the consultant looks at him and said, okay, what happened? Is everything okay? He said, no, your idea was brilliant. I walk the dog. I do my exercise. I love running. I get all that done. I get my money because I love the animals too. But what is going on? He said, I followed your thought process. So I was thinking, why should I just do it within one condo facility? So I started pitching and asking around, and I found that more people actually wanted to walk their dogs. So what I did is I called my friends who are in the slum to join and work for me. So I have 8 people working for me, and I also have 2 backup because I realized some of my friends are not so committed. In business, you have to have commitment, right? So I decided to buy this motorbike so I can go and check on these people whether they are doing the right service. Because you can walk the dog only at a certain time. So he said he already had 100 over clients at that time. And he wanted the consultant's help to help him to see how he can create a video imaging so that people, when they go and meet the person is there and they know they have trust that they're going to walk the dog. So can you imagine doing a service by walking the dog, and you can earn so much of money and actually own a business that can take care for all the rest of the folks. So think about it, right? The lesson that you learn from these type of stories is very simple thing. We look at the problem that people have. A lot of people look it as a problem, but we need to know how to turn it as an opportunity. I am very sure that a lot of people are already doing that. And I can see in your mom's Facebook right now, right? A lot of people are doing that, taking a lot of opportunities on baking, on doing a lot of online stuff, reinventing themselves, doing something that they are not used to do. Another story I wanted to share with you, again, very local in Malaysia. We have a local hawker. He sells kway teow teng. And because of the MCO, he is unable to sell.
Is it Penang or Taiping?
In Taiping, my parents' place. So he cannot sell all the stuff. And what happened? After that, he got a friend. He got a friend to help him to actually put it on Facebook. So he still sells kway teow teng, but it's right now enhanced through Facebook selling. So he gets that delivered to your house. And can you imagine? Of course, he had to go through a lot of changes, but he has taken that first step to go ahead and change, to really unlearn himself from always only doing and standing at one place, by utilizing different tools and all those things. And these are powerful things to share with you, because we are not talking about people with lots of money, a lot of things that they can do different. These are simple day-to-day things that people can do literally. That's the reason we are just sharing with you those kind of stories, right? So probably, Krista, you can go ahead and jump in and share the stories that, I was sharing about the employee side, what they can do differently, how they can come up. What about your thoughts in terms of the entrepreneurs?
For entrepreneurs, I think it's also a good time for us to evaluate what kinds of things are working and what kinds of things are not. So just like you were saying, we need to really look at what our fear is. We need to look at it, and we need to understand that it is a fear that we can easily overcome. For instance, I'm speaking from experience because I work in digital, right? A lot of things for us is literally is online. But for a lot of my friends, a lot of people who are in business, they have always held back from going online, from selling their products online, because they always felt that because if they had a retail store, they would always have that opportunity for customers to walk in and buy their product. But now, when all the retail stores are not open, when the shops are not open, what do you do, right? So this is actually a good chance for you to really get online. And I'm saying this because a lot of things can be done online. And it's not just about selling your product using e-commerce, for instance. It could also be about partnering up with other businesses. So sometimes we always think that, I have to do it on my own. I have to get on this and start everything on my own. Like, for instance, like even this session, I keep coming back to this session because I always think that this session is also a learning for the both of us. For us, first we have to figure out like the tech stuff, right? Like the echoey stuff. We have to fix it on the fly as we're doing this. Second one is also we had to do a couple of what we call demo or test sessions to run through what we're going to say and put it in a structure, because both of us, I think Vimi and I, we like our structure. We can't do stuff just like that. We need to know, okay, what we're going to do, how we're going to say it. So we had to plan out the structure. We had to plan out the tech stuff. We even had to figure out, okay, what kinds of promotion we're going to do for this particular kind of thing, so that at least I think okay, I think I know why. I think halfway I'm talking, actually Vimi's was her device is not connected, so I think she needs to connect herself back again. Let me just add her back. Yes, can you hear me, Vimi?
Yes, I can. Go
Okay,
ahead.
because I think halfway when I was talking, something happened. Okay, so even like right now, even when we're doing this, weird things start happening, so we have to really fix things on the go. But this is a chance for us to learn. So after this, what I would have learned is I would have learned how to do a Facebook Live. I would have learned how to pitch someone to get on my Facebook Live with me. I would have learned how to fix some of the tech issues that we are experiencing, right? So this is learning for me too. I mean, for people say, oh, but it's so easy for you and Vimi to just get on a Facebook Live and just talk. But even so, right? I'm sure you and I were part of it. Like we got nervous. So this is real life, right? Whether or not we can see the crowd, I think sometimes it's easier to see the crowd. Then you can gauge their feedback. Right now, we can't even see the crowd. We know you're there because you put the comments in the section. But other than that, we're just hoping that, yes, you can hear us, hoping that things are working out fine. So take every opportunity, especially in these difficult times, take the opportunity to actually relook some of the things that you've been doing for the last maybe 5 years, 10 years as an entrepreneur. And what are the things that right now you can do without, which I think is an important lesson for entrepreneurs also, because as entrepreneurs, we want many things, right? We want more resources for our businesses, but maybe there are certain things you can do without, or you can replace or substitute. So one of the key things I like to encourage people to look at is actually to look into automation. Automation could be as simple as using a piece of software, using something that can help you eliminate the manual task of doing something over and over. And to me, that itself is already one step for you as an entrepreneur, even if you're not an entrepreneur, even if you're an employee. Think of that one thing that you can do that instead of manual, can you actually automate it? Now, this is a tip I'm going to share with you, is that if some of you know, some of you don't, there is something called Zapier. Zapier, Zapier.com. Go to Zapier.com and look at the different ways that you can connect different software and apps to each other so that you can remove a lot of the manual work that you're doing right now. So this one is across the board. You don't even have to be an entrepreneur. Basically, there's so many apps and software that we use in our daily life these days. But sometimes we keep doing it manually because we don't know there's a way to do it not manually, right? So it can be automatic. So go and check out Zapier.com. That is something which is a first step for all of us. So try to look at it from a point of view that, can I automate this? And if I can, we would have saved your time. And I think this also ties in very well with what Vimi is doing currently in business, is to help people optimize and streamline their businesses. Right? Vimi, maybe you can help
Yeah,
with.
exactly. And that's the interesting thing, right? I mean, my personal experience right now with MCO and also what's happening with the environment. Okay, can you see me? Okay. So something popped up on my screen.
Okay.
So if you take a look at it right now, there's a lot of people, they want to actually curb their expenditure. And this is when they actually cannot go ahead and do a lot more selling, right? The existing stuff, unless they change their business model.
Yeah.
Then only they can go ahead and sell and attract the customers. But one thing that they can do without increasing their selling is actually how to optimize their operational level. That is reducing the cost of operations. And reducing the cost of operation doesn't mean that you chop off heads. That's not what we want to do. But we want to see how we repurpose how we utilize what we have, but we get more value out of it. And there's this term that I'm working on and doing, right? We are looking at operational analytics, how we can gather end-to-end type of information in operation setting, not to sell it out, but to optimize your operations as well. And if you look at it in the current situation, where because of this pandemic, a lot of things that's going on, we have more clients who's actually looking at this kind of a business model, right? This is what they want. And for us, it's an opportunity. I must say, thank God, we have been very busy because there's a lot of things that people want us to do. And very similar, right? Right now, the situation, even though the oil price is going, if we did not have MCO, I'm sure a lot of people buying cars because the oil price is going down. And if you take a look at it, because of the economic situation right now, those people who are selling economic country risk kind of products, they are actually skyrocketing because a lot of people want to understand what can they do, how they can do it, and when they should do all this kind of stuff so that they are ready when this whole thing is over, right? So that's a very important thing. I actually can relate to a couple of things that the friends are sharing. I'm sorry because I'm trying to think what I'm talking and also looking at the screen. So I can see mothers sending the tips on counting the savings and all those kind of, say, hopping on online, right? Definitely, there's a lot more things that we can go ahead and do. But very important, the most important thing as we come back and tell is your mindset. How positive that you are is very, very important. And that's the reason we want you to pen it down, your feelings. So if you're aware about your feelings, you can actually accept it and address the concerns. If you just put it behind, it will be still nagging and bugging you and you cannot get going. And that is very, very important, no matter what situation you are, right? Whether you're an employee, employer, whatever, right? Then you take a look at what problem that you want to solve, and then look at all the rest of the opportunities that we have. You know, a lot of issues that's happening now. What is the situation right now? And what can we do to capture? I'm sure a lot of you have seen, right? Right now with MCO, there's a significant need on making face mask. I recently saw one of the WhatsApp videos where a Chinese company in China, where they actually sell equipment for making face masks. But they realized that they have all this travel restriction on shipping this machine. So they decided to shut down half of their manufacturing floor and convert them. They actually made a lot of machine to start stitching the mask. So they converted the actual production people, turn them to become people who are stitching and doing the other job to do the mask so that they can cater for the demand and they actually make more money out of it. The good part is it is related, right? Although they don't know how to make masks, but they know how the machine is used to make the mask, right? So they are using that and then implementing, complementing it. So all this is actually a change. Change is the only constant, as you know it, right? So how do you take a problem that you see right now and using your passion, your hobbies, your strength to turn it over to a solution that people need? I can bet you right now, even with digitization, I was just thinking aloud, like my parents are very aged. I know they'll kill me, they're aged, okay, 80 plus, 80 for my dad and my mom is 70 plus. But if you take a look at it right now, everything, every utilities and everything is actually going online. A lot of these people will need help to do that. How many of us are actually taking this simple opportunity, going door to door service when the MCO is lifted, for example? So we can go ahead and check that and do that, right? And you know, Daniel is telling local kaka who makes the mask and she has no hands. She uses her feet. That's amazing, right? There's a lot of things. In fact,
Share the story online. It's very inspiring.
yes, there's amazing things that people are able to do. And they are not like, you know, I think probably another thing that we need to do, very important, is we need to rephrase what the success means. A lot of people have this thought, obviously, about the fear, and then they have this expectation that success means they have to have a lot of money. And I think with this MCO, this COVID-19, it has come back and actually give you a good knock on your head, right? You can be very happy just being with your family, having the very little movement just within your house, as long as you have the food. Those happiness is very, very important. So maybe the success part of it is how happy you are, is something that you can think about as you build on this new venture, right? As I was telling Krista, now the world, if you know it, is just like going under a renovation. We are going to get to another phase of life, right? How do you use this time to come out of it different thinking, different thought process, how we can come back and live in a better environment, right?
I think one of the things I also want to say is if you are in business, there is always this self-preservation mode, which means that a lot of us are probably thinking, oh no. I mean, I've talked to so many people and all of them are saying that probably zero sales, zero revenue for the month because you can't sell, right? And of course, that's where I encourage you to start exploring things online, start thinking different ways of selling. There is no one specific way of selling. And I've been saying that over and over, but right now, in a way, it's given people a real literal push, a show to that direction, to look at digital as a really viable means of doing something. So for this one, the other part I want to mention is this. Use this time as a way to reconnect with your customers, your clients, because everyone's at home. They can't tell you. Well, they can tell you they're in an online meeting, but they can't tell you they're not at home, right? So use this chance to text them, but better than text, why don't you just pick up the phone and call them? Because I think that there is something important, something very special about connecting to another person and hearing their voice. So this is actually what we're also doing, right? We hear each other's voices and all that. But I think that is the beauty of today's world, is that we can easily pick up the phone and call anyone anywhere in the world and talk to them. So when you're talking to them as entrepreneurs, sometimes I tell people refrain from talking about your product, your services. Just stop talking about things like that. Focus on asking the person how they are, what are they doing now, how are they overcoming some of the challenges, and just look at it from a point of view like you're just being a friend, not so much as a vendor, supplier, business owner, I want to sell this stuff. Just stop all that. Which I think this is something which I got from a podcast which I listened to, which I found very helpful. It's called Inside Strategic Coach. It's a podcast by Dan Sullivan. You can all look it up. It's free for you to subscribe and listen to. And he says, choose 25 people, whether they could be your customers, they could be your friends, close friends, or people that you've known for some time. 25 people, and call them. Call one per day. Okay, and then just talk to them, because there is the beauty of talking to people is that just talking to them doesn't mean you have to give them advice. Talking to them gives them a relief that someone is sharing the same pain, frustration, emotional turmoil that they are going through. So just want to just share with you what they're going through. And at the end, eventually, you will probably come out of the call better, which is actually what was happening with us last week, right? We were going through a call where I just wanted to catch up with you to see how you were, because there was something specific that happened, right? The night before. So I was trying to just, see what's happening with Vimi, check in on her and see what I could do to help. But more than that, it's just being a listening ear and just being there for that person. So use this chance for you to connect with your customers, to actually talk to them and just find out how they are, with no intention of selling. Please do not sell anything. Please do not try to market any product, any service, or anything to them. Just be there. So I think that is also part of what we want to say, is that just be a friend. In this difficult time, just be a friend. Not do anything that you feel very entrepreneurial. You can do entrepreneurial stuff when everything is back to normal, but now maybe it's time for you to just take a step back and to look at other people first and put them first rather than put yourself first. Yeah. So that was my take. That was my take for this.
Yeah, I'm as you are talking about it, I was just looking at what a couple of people were talking about, right, in terms of communicating. A lot of us actually talk or communicate because we want to share our thoughts out.
Yeah.
But in communication is two-way. It's actually listening and also talking, right? One is actually you are trying to listen to understand what the other person wants. And then as you do the same thing, you want them to understand what you are sharing. And that's a very important skill right now. And everybody needs to take a look at it, need to pause how they are communicating with people. And as what Krista mentioned, right? When people come in with a lot of, you know, a thought that they want something out of you, you will catch it. You will catch it in the communication. So at this time, with all the MCO, with a lot of things that's going on, we want to bring the humanity part in the forefront. How are we there to position to help others? And if you do that, if you have that mindset, if you go ahead and do that, I'm very, very certain. I mean, this has happened over and over again. And as we share it, the more that you give, the more you will get. Giving is abundance, right? In giving, you create the abundance. And that's a very important thought that people need to embrace. It's very, very important that we have that kind of mindset to know that we are able to weather this. And the good part is, it's not only you are having the problem of COVID-19, right? Only you are at the house. I mean, the fun part is everybody is going through this thing. You know, Krista was asking me this question about MCO and all the issues. And I was just telling her this one joke. You know, a lot of people, we speak to a whole range of people. I have people who does not have money to buy their groceries, from people who are very high end, who has got too many things in their house, right? But when you speak to any of them, every of them have their own problems. Because as they grow in their belt, they seem to have a lot more things that becomes necessity,
Yeah, a
right?
lot more.
That becomes necessity, right? So it's difficult for them to go ahead and manage that. So the issue is the same, but the degree is different. And that's the thing that people need to understand, because a lot of people think, hey, some other people are not facing it, but everybody is facing it. It's just that what is it? What is the degree? And what we can do to change it. And that's the important thing that we want to part, right? We want you to really think about it, pick that up, look at again at your COVID status, be truthful with yourself. See what are your fears, write that down. Look at inventory check on your own finance status. What's going to happen? Are you going to be broke tomorrow? You have to go to the streets. I'm very certain. I've done this with many people. I've literally sat down with them and tell them what is your bills and everything and write it down. And after we talk through it and we understand, it is not a legitimate fear. Because, you know, we the way we operate is we become fearful very fast. That's our mechanism. And we always look at the worst case scenario. But when you actually write it down, you look at systematically, there's a lot of things that we can resolve. And then be prepared, again, to unlearn whatever. That means you go in with a clean thought. You learn something new. There's a lot of opportunities. As those people who are with us, we will definitely share with you a lot of resources that we pulled in. So you can take a look at it. A lot of them are free of charge. It just needs your time and attention to take a look at it. Learn it, and then reinvent yourself. And it's something that is doable, just doable. All you need is just you.
Yeah. So I think the key thing that we want to share with everyone is that it's it may be a bit difficult to start thinking about reinventing, because reinventing sounds very huge, right? Like, oh my God, I have to change everything about myself, my business, the way I work, and things like that. But start with, I will always say, start with baby steps. Start with things that you can work on, which is the easiest. I say, make a list of the top 25 people, your customers, or friends, or people that you wanted to, you know how it's so easy on Facebook to say that, hey, we hope to catch up with each other one day, but the one day never comes, right? And because in the past, before MCO, we were all like, no, I'll see that person sometime or other, probably next month. but next month becomes 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. And after that, you're like, oh my God, I haven't seen the person for 3 years. So I think now is a good chance for us to really look back into ourselves and look at the friendships and the relationships that really matter, whether you're a business person or not business person, whether you're working for others, it's okay. Make inventory. I guess inventory check, right? This is inventory check. So it's 25 people that you would really like to talk to again. And the talking to is just picking up the phone, calling them and say, hi, how are you doing in MCO? And maybe share some crazy jokes about what's happening to you and what's happening to them, right? So that itself becomes a good way for you to actually find out what's happening to your friends and your customers. And from that on, you would see things will start changing. So that's one method. The other method is, of course, I encourage people to automate some of the manual things that they've been doing. And the third one is to collaborate with people. To collaborate meaning to look at relationships where you can work with other people. If you told me 6 years ago when I met Vimi at PSDC that I'll be doing Facebook Live with her, I'd be, no, you're out of your mind, you're crazy. I don't know Vimi that well. I can't jump on a call with her. But look at where we are 6 years and into MCO. We're doing this. So for those of you who feel afraid, okay, maybe part of your dream is to also do something like this, do a Facebook Live with to share what you feel, what you want to tell your customers or even the friends around you. Take this as a step to do it, right? Look at both of us. We did it, and yes, we have some technical problems in between, some stuff that didn't work, but who cares? We're just doing it the way we feel that because the message is more important, right? It's not about all the other stuff. So the message itself will be something that if you want to share with the world your message, right now is a good time to do it. With all this while you've been thinking about maybe doing something different, maybe this is the time to do it. Maybe this is the time for you to actually start seriously thinking, can you take your hobby and turn it into a viable business? Can you take something that you really wanted to do all this while and you've been talking about it and turn it into something that can really be even part of your income or maybe be part of your life? So yeah, that is what I wanted to say. And for those of you who have been with us for the past hour, really want to thank you. Really want to appreciate everyone who's been here and sharing all their comments and thoughts with us. And yeah, what else you want to say before we give them the special
I have
surprise?
to tell thank you again. Thank you to you for pulling to me to do this. And thank you to all the folks, right? I mean, I see a lot of interactive comments coming in. It's good to see that. Thank you so much for your time to let us share our thought, right? I really hope that you picked up some nugget, something or so, or just being positive and whatever not for you to take out. But all the very best. I'm sure we will get connected again and we will get that going. And the only thing I wanted to tell just now, I don't know, I couldn't get that to share. I don't know whether Krista, you saw that. If plan A does not work,
Ah, can you
there is
share?
another.
You share
Yeah,
it
no,
again?
I let me share that back again. Share screen, and let me do this. Can you see?
Okay, hang on. The internet is a bit slow. It will pop up hopefully. Carrot time, yes, Regina, carrot time, yes. The carrot is actually pretty good because we have a list of resources, not
Yeah.
only for mindset reset. Okay, now let me share this first, okay? Okay, where is the screen?
I think it's a running time for people right now. We are over. We are sorry about that. I think probably we need to. We can see a lot of people have got other commitment, right?
Yeah. So can you, do you see your screen there?
Yeah, no, it's okay. Go ahead. The thing that I just wanted to share is if plan A does not work,
Yeah.
please remember there's another 25 letters in that alphabet. So stay cool, stay calm, and we can get this together out.
Okay.
All right. Shall
Okay,
we log
so
on?
they are waiting for the carrot, right?
Yep.
Okay, so for those of you who've been with us for the past hour, if there's any topic or anything that you feel that both of us should actually talk about, right, we will hopefully do this again and cover some of the topics that probably we never did. But we know that Vimi has a specific talent in certain things besides the storytelling. let us know also. So we will collate all the comments and see where we can do another of these sessions because it's pretty fun. I like it that it's pretty casual. So yes, finally, let me just share. Okay, how can you get the carrot? So you have to do this. You have to write to either Vimi or myself. So Vimi's one is info@stravik.com. Mine is info@redboxstudio.com. And we will personally email you the PDF that we've put together that we have collated not only some very personal favorite books of ours, and of course in normal times, you can't go to a bookstore and get the books, but the books that we are recommending to you, you can download and read them immediately. So that's one. Two is that we have some fantastic resources for you if you want to try a side gig. So a side gig meaning that, okay, maybe you're looking for some income. Maybe you're not too sure where to get some of these useful side gigs. So we've actually listed quite a number of websites and online resources for you where you can actually go and check them out. And of course, there are also some other tips that we didn't manage to cover about what else you can do in these times that you can help yourself as well as help others. So yes, please email us. I know people will probably email us immediately after this. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have anything that you want to say, please, you can email it to us also. So thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us.
Thank
We
you.
had
Have a
fun.
good day.
Have
Bye-bye.
a good day, everyone. Bye bye.